YouTube, welcome to my channel. I'm gonna be creating a mad 808 on this little video, so stay tuned because it's gonna be pretty cool. So Apple's Logic Pro 10 comes with a variety of really powerful software instruments. You got Alchemy, you got the ES2, you got, you name it. It's a big old list. Right out of the box, you're gonna be able to create some pretty powerful sounds, and with their built-in instruments, you can definitely create some massive 808s that'll go with some sicko trap beats. So I'm gonna show you what I do for my 808s. So the first thing we're gonna do is create a software instrument, and we're gonna be using Alchemy. So right over here, you go down to Alchemy, it's the first on the list, apart from your recent. And now once we open up Alchemy, they're gonna give you a whole bunch of categories, subcategories, and genres you can pick from. So by default, you'll already have a preset loaded in Alchemy. That's what mine sounds like. We're gonna wanna work with a blank canvas, without a doubt. So what you're gonna wanna do is go to the Advanced tab here, and go to File, and you're gonna initialize a preset. So this is like a blank canvas kind of mode. Basically our foundation for our 808, and if you're using a different software instrument, you're always going to want to click Initiate Preset because it creates the blank canvas for you. And that's what it currently sounds like, which, that's not really an 808. Even if we lower the octave, it's terrible. It's pretty ugly. So we're only going to be needing one oscillator to create the 808 bass, although Alchemy has 4. But if you're using a different synthesizer, you're gonna definitely want to make sure that your oscillators are turned off. And so now the first thing we're gonna do with this blank canvas of ours is we're gonna change that source, and we're gonna change it from a saw wave into a basic sine wave. So you go to load VA basic sine. The sine wave, something to know, is actually the purest tone because it has no overtones. Just a little tidbit for you to you can really hear the purity in that sound. So next we're going to be looking at the filter section here, and let's set our cutoff to about 250. Drive the resonance to 50%. The drive to 50% as well. Okay, now we're moving on to the master section, and again, this is by default pretty standard stuff, but there's some small modifications we need to make. The first is to go down to basically you want a monophonic synthesizer, and so to do that you're going to go to retrigger in the voices. You want to set the number of voices to 1. These settings, you can definitely modify them to your own taste once the sound is actually done. Now, since the Roland TR-808 was not velocity sensitive, and what I mean by that is how hard you press your keys, we want to replicate this. So if you would like to preserve this quality, you can ignore this step. But what we do, the modulation here, we're going to go to the DSR, and we're going to go to master volume and take the velocity down to 0%. So now if you set your octave a little bit lower, it should start to kind of be sounding like an 808, except we have to work on the envelope, which is the most fun part. The envelope basically introduces that click that makes an 808 really snappy kind of thing. Okay, to modify the envelope, you're gonna take this blue dot right here, and you're gonna drag it down to about, I'd say about 25%. Now, if that doesn't work for you, if you can't drag it down, it's because the model that I don't know, something is off with it, but you just double click it, and then to create it you double click again, and then bring it down to 25%. So now you can hear that click. Now let's just add some release time in our 80 AH DSR. The release is 0.37 seconds right now. We could change that to about 6 seconds. So I would definitely recommend playing around with some of these you know, gauges and checking out the sound for yourself, because there's just so much you can do in Logic. One of the questions I often get is, should I use compression in my 808s? And you'll notice that in certain frequencies, your 808 may sound louder or quieter than others as you play around with the new instrument. And I recommend you use some compression on your 808s, even though it's not required, but it certainly levels out the sound. Go ahead and go to your software instrument and add an audio effect. What you're gonna want to go down to is dynamics and compressor. And then with this compressor, basically, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw the knee up to 1, and I'm gonna bring the attack to 120. So now I'm just gonna do a recording with this 808. That's pretty cool. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Smash the like and subscribe buttons, and make sure to stay tuned for more videos, more content, because actually this is my first video ever on YouTube, apart from some beats that I uploaded earlier in the week. But you know, I'm pretty new to this whole producing, marketing aspect of producing. So yeah, if you liked this video, I'm glad you're here, I'm glad you liked it, and yeah, stick around.